In 2017, a man called Roosh V published online a detailed list of places around Melbourne CBD where straight men were most likely to pick up women during the day. Roosh V's forum hosts a series of threads dedicated to topics such as life and travel, as well as a thread titled Day Game. As defined by the site itself, game refers to both meeting and managing women in various public settings during the day in which women themselves are the target to be hunted or acquired through methods suggested by male users on the forum and to women themselves. Published within this game forum thread, the datasheet's intending audience was straight men in Melbourne who rated women's appearances out of 10, as well as the average quality of the women men can find in specific locations such as the Woolworths at Melbourne Central Station, the State Library, and the University of Melbourne. In May this year, several women across Melbourne stumbled upon the forum and shared links to the site for other women to read in popular Facebook groups such as Melbourne Gal Pals, where thousands of female members expressed overwhelming disgust and fear of the existence of such blatant sexist and predatory behaviour by the men around them. When Roosh V forum users became aware that women were reading their comments and advice, they began commenting about girls' appearances and locations on their Facebook profiles directly. The example shown here depicts how men a few years ago would troll girls' profiles and openly judge their appearances and disclose their location to other men, defined by Fuller, McCree, and Wilson as doxing. These examples are shown here because original comments on girls' profiles related to the Roosh V forum have since been reported and deleted. Most media coverage noted its, quote, creepy and planned out nature that attempted to resemble a sense of randomness and spontaneity for the females who were targeted by, quote, day gaming. Usually diverse media mastheads all use the descriptor creepy in their reference to the forum. In the same way that we discussed defining the objective nature of a virtue by exploring its intrinsic good for people through evaluating its positive means and implications for all involved in week 2, we can apply the same concept to defining intrinsically bad or harmful nature of sexism in online spaces. We can then use this idea of moral value to define online sexism as a bad thing in the context of Australia's seemingly progressive social climate. Therefore, this intrinsically bad nature of online sexism demonstrated in the forum highlights the ways in which the intentions of its manifestations in online spaces influence the discourses and interpretations by its subjects in other online and real-world communities by referring to women as sluts, targets, and game that are widely regarded as fighting words that inflict offence and breach gendered peace. Using this definition of sexism as an inherently toxic online behaviour, we can adopt a multitude of ethical theoretical frameworks to explore the intentions and implications of the Roosh V forum. Specifically, this analysis evaluates the strengths and limitations of deontological and consequential viewpoints in responding to sexism in online spaces. For example, Fuller, McCrae, and Wilson's notion that a troll deliberately evokes emotive responses from its target is both challenged by the exclusive nature of the forum and underscored by the rhetoric it facilitates through its male-dominated demographic. For example, user Rob_scammer did not make his comment directly to a female as seen in several previous cases, including those of Charlotte Dawson and game developer Zoe Quinn discussed by Jane in 2012, but rather to a closed group of like-minded heterosexual males. The forum, as a male-dominated platform, presents a nuanced complexity of users' motivations for talking about women this way. Unlike most online discourses which rest in public social media comments, The forum demonstrates a convergence of sexist rhetoric which has shifted from the attacking of females and minorities directly discussed in Fuller, McRae, and Wilson's work to excluding them from the conversation about their gender altogether. We also see a more subdued yet ever-existing example of what Emma Jane defines as e-bile, in which female targets are dismissed as hypersexual sluts who were inviting sexual attention or other sexual attacks. By applying the above readings to a case study such as the Roosh v. Forum, it becomes increasingly apparent that while a deontologist would delve deeper into why these commenters act how they do online, these authors' focus shifts away from the why to extensive discussion about the subsequent outcomes of online sexism paired with doxing. It's in this context that a consequentialist approach is the most effective means of exploring patterns in sexist discourse online. As discussed earlier, framing sexism as an inherently harmful discourse that men shouldn't engage with highlights consequences that exacerbate gendered inequalities that have historically existed between men and women. Taking a consequentialist approach to online sexism then challenges the long-standing gendered relativism ingrained in attitudes such as boys will be boys and men are from Mars, women are from Venus, shifting the focus away from an individual speaker's values and intentions and minimizing rhetoric that justifies intrinsically harmful behavior towards women. This also highlights that, unlike a deontological approach, the commenters' values and the outcomes of such perspectives are inextricably linked to how safe women in Melbourne felt in engaging with seemingly kind males. Overall, this presentation has evaluated the deontological and consequentialist approaches to online sexism before arguing that exploring the consequences regardless of the forum's intention is more effective in developing constructive discourse about the implications of men's behavior and attitudes towards women than their motivations in online spaces.